One of our backstabbers in arms on Tharsis is expecting a shipment and doesn't want to share. I give you their location and a cut of the profits. You give me the goods. Deal?
comic to hide? Sure do. Though eating Valeris has got me more palatable nowadays. And I thought it would be nice.
little bird has been asking after some misplaced valuables.
What are we, the lost and found desk?
When playing Destiny 2, the most important choice you actually have to make is what build are you going to use. This can be the difference maker of making the game feel impossible to feeling like you are invincible even on ultimate difficulty. With all that said, there is still critical errors you see in builds all of the time, so here is the top 5 mistakes you will want to avoid in order to make your build as powerful as it can possibly be. At number 1, this does seem to be hunters mostly, but anyone can be a victim of this, and it is just over-investing into damage resist, often at the expense of offensive capabilities. So here's an example. You're running Prismatic Hunter on Tether with Ascension and Stylus Executioner. You have Praxic Blade with 4-piece Swordmasters, Facet of Purpose, Facet of Protection, and an exotic class item with the classic combination of Hoyle and Ceratarachne. So you have 15% DR from Amplified, invisibility on any final blow due to Stylus Executioner, resist times 4, and exhausting enemies from Swordmasters, void over shields with Facet of Purpose, 15% DR from Facet of Protection, and woven mail from Ceratarachne. And yes, with all of this, you aren't likely to die, but neither is anything else in any good time. What you want to do is build to a damage resist value where you can survive in the activities you're playing, and then just stop. It's also quite important to remember that killing things faster is kind of also a source of damage resist, because if there's less things attacking you, obviously you're just going to take less damage. So stacking up resist sources this high is even worse of an investment than it may originally appear. So without changing the identity of this build, here's what I would do. Swap out the exotic class item for something offensive. I'd say Fortune's Favour. Since Facet of Purpose is providing void over shields anyway, this will provide an extra 15 to 20% weapon damage. At number 2, you might think I'm a bit crazy for this one, but hear me out. Got to stop matching weapon elements with your subclass element. Most of the time this makes absolutely no sense, and you're actually losing out from element specific perks compared to their base value. Let me explain. If you are playing Arc Warlock, having a weapon with jolting feedback just doesn't fit. You can already jolt everything with rapidly looping abilities, even more so if you're using Arc Buddy with Spark of Shock, which will jolt every single enemy it attacks. You're not even going to have time to jolt enemies with your weapon before you start competing with your own grenade for who can apply jolt first. And the same applies to other elements. Stasis can easily slow and freeze enemies, but Chill Clip weapon isn't really providing much of anything. Void can provide volatile rounds, which makes destabilizing have less value than base. What you want your weapons with an elemental perk to be is something which covers your build's weaknesses. Sticking with Arc Warlock, this setup can be a bit of a glass cannon, so a repulsor destabilizing Locust Eater would be nice to give yourself an overshield. Or any weapon with heal clip so you can keep yourself in combat. The reverse is true too. If you're playing Solar Warlock, you could use a jolting feedback weapon here to add a damage over time source since you already have a lot of sustain. Another thing is expanding champion stunning capabilities. On Stasis, you have no method of staggering unstoppables for some unknown reason, thanks Bungie, so a weapon with Burning Ambition would actually be a pretty good fit. Overall, giving yourself access to things you wouldn't normally have, instead of giving yourself even more of what you have an abundance in, is the play. At number 3, the rounded kit point is what we're going to go with. Overinvesting into one stat is probably not the play, unless you are going for a very specific goal, like John Chunk. It's normally better to have stat investments around 70 to 80 in grenade, melee, super, class and weapons, maybe 100 plus in one of them, than having say 200 grenade, but then you have 30 super and 30 class. Every stat point you have is a trade-off somewhere else, and honestly the 100 plus benefits do typically have diminished returns compared to the 0 to 100. Importantly too, not having a reasonable stat spread can just completely break certain builds. Combination Blow Hunter, the first thing you'll think is I really need 200 melee. But if you don't have at least 70 class, the ability loop of dodges into melees just won't even function. Any build using Spirit of Inmost Light relies on having class grenades and melees active to reduce the cooldowns of the others. Having any of these stats at 0 will break that loop. And also there's breakpoints. If you're running a bonk so you can keep yourself in combat, the reverse is true too. If you're playing Solar Warlock, you could use a jolting feedback weapon here to add a damage over time source since you already have a lot of sustain. Another thing is expanding champion stunning capabilities. Let me explain. If you are playing Arc Warlock, having a weapon with jolting feedback just doesn't fit. You can already jolt everything with rapidly looping abilities, even more so if you're using Arc Buddy with Spark of Shock, which will jolt every single enemy it attacks. You're not even going to have time to jolt enemies with your weapon before you start competing with your own grenade for who can apply jolt first. And the same applies to other elements. Stasis can easily slow and freeze enemies, but Chill Clip weapon isn't really providing much of anything. Void can provide volatile rounds, which makes destabilizing have less value than base. What you want your weapons with an elemental perk to be is something which covers your build's weaknesses. Sticking with Arc Warlock, this setup can be a bit of a glass cannon, so a repulsor destabilizing Locust Eater would be nice to give yourself an overshield. Or any weapon with heal clip so you can keep yourself in combat. The reverse is true too. If you're playing Solar Warlock, you could use a jolting feedback weapon here to add a damage over time source since you already have a lot of sustain. Another thing is expanding champion stunning capabilities. On Stasis, you have no method of staggering unstoppables for some unknown reason, thanks Bungie, so a weapon with Burning Ambition would actually be a pretty good fit. Overall, giving yourself access to things you wouldn't normally have, instead of giving yourself even more of what you have an abundance in, is the play. At number 3, the rounded kit point is what we're going to go with. Over-investing into one stat is probably not the play, unless you are going for a very specific goal, like John Chunk. It's normally better to have stat investments around 70 to 80 in grenade, melee, super, class and weapons, maybe 100 plus in one of them, than having say 200 grenade, but then you have 30 super and 30 class. Every stat point you have is a trade-off somewhere else, and honestly the 100 plus benefits do typically have diminished returns compared to the 0 to 100. Importantly too, not having a reasonable stat spread can just completely break certain builds. Combination below Hunter, the first thing you'll think is I really need 200 melee, but if you don't have at least 70 class, the ability loop of dodges into melees just won't even function. Any build using Spirit of Inmost Light relies on having class grenades and melees active to reduce the cooldowns of the others. Having any of these stats at 0 will break that loop. And also there's breakpoints. If you're running a Bonk Titan build of Worm Gods to just steamroll through everything, having a 100 plus melee stat will be beneficial, maybe. Some builds like this are just so strong that when done right, everything's going to die in one hammer anyway, so 80 melee is probably enough, allowing you to invest into weapons so you have that chance of double ammo bricks for more 1-2 punch shots, and your heavy weapon will be more capable in taking out boss enemies not in melee range. And honestly the Bonk build might be a bit of a bad example, as it is one of those builds where you just go completely into one gameplay loop. If you're just running a well-rounded setup, even more so look for an even stat spread. At number 4, the part of builds where people just, they've done the important part and at this point they just don't care. You even see this from YouTube build crafters. Sometimes they have a great idea for a build and you look at the fragments and it seems like it's just a lucky dip of 5 random ones. Maybe one was selected just because it provides plus 10 grenade. Fragments are just as important as aspects in order to make a build work. A lot of the mono element subclasses actually rely on a few specific fragments to make them worth running over prismatic. And there's obviously so many builds out there, I can't go with what fragments you want to use with every single build, but a lot of them do have a few common ones, fragments which can single-handedly carry a build. So here's a few standouts. On Solar you have Ember of Ashes. Any Scorch source is increased by 50%. Dragon's Breath and any...
She was talking shit to him, she was degrading him, calling him a loser, but now whenever they face accountability, now they're the victim. Nope. Oh no. Let me see if I can show you guys this. This was so fucking stupid. This guy got kicked out of a $40,000 Marvel Rivals tournament for telling his teammate to switch off of Black Widow. Yes, I know. We're gonna get to it. I know it's taken me some time, but we're back at it. All right, here we go. Let's look at it.
You guys. Okay, guys.
It's not working.
Taste and point proven right now. Do you understand?
No, it's well, you've been making
Get
me feel like
there!
of course I'm gonna
How
play
do you not see the problem right now?
Wait, first of
Yeah.
all, it's that ass Kingsman, like, shut the fuck up.
Okay, bro.
You're doing too much.
Lucy's not even on Invis. Second of all, you're
So toxic. So rude. What a nasty bitch. Yep, 0 and 5. Yep, there it is. Oh, is that Black Widow? I guess that's a scan. I'm not really familiar with it. Yeah, I guess it is. So 0 and 5. Wow. And then she's telling this guy who's 18 and 2 to shut the fuck up.
on Invis. Second of all, you're
That's
getting
sad.
value because four
No. She
Not
shouldn't
even
be
one
getting-
assist.
I'm getting value because I'm 1v6ing.
Hope isn't peeling for you, bro. Yes, Zaza is 0 and 5, but they won the point, bro. Why? Because they were hard. Like,
You won the point.
people are dying here. That means four of their util, 4 of their resources are all spent on Zaza.
So you just wave those jacket
And the
hands of
supports.
yours around.
Uh-huh.
And we win because they don't care about anything else.
You win because he's carrying you. That's the reason why you win.
Like,
That's not why it's
As well
happening.
as Lucy's letting strap pull
Yep.
and going on Invis, and then they kind of split, but we still.
Yeah, she makes a good point. No, only if you don't understand the game. Like, very clearly she's not. I mean, absolutely not. Yes, and then so here we go. And then this is the girl. Kingsman telling them that they need to triple support since everyone else will be running. Okay, here we go.
Of course they're gonna do that. It's a $40,000 tournament.
no, they're not.
Talk some sense into
They're
these
not
guys.
gonna. They're not gonna run triple support. There's no way they'll do that.
No, they're not.
Talk some sense into these guys because they don't want to run triple support.
They run triple support.
But every team will.
Every.
Okay, they're running triple.
As soon as they went triple, we started losing. Wow.
Of course they're gonna.
Man, it's so fucking toxic, isn't it? And so anyway, so this girl gets him, basically gets him kicked out of the tournament for telling the teammate to switch off of Black Widow. So context: the clip is from one of the scrims of the Deadpool Content Creator Cup. Streamer Kingsman, Magic player, was kicked from his team in the Marvel Rivals tournament for atching Zaza Stack, Diamond Black Widow, One Trick Pony, that's OTP, playing with 2000 ping. By the way, Black Widow is like a sniper. Can you play a sniper with 2000 ping? Nope. To switch to another character for better team composition. Kingsman kept trying to tell them that they would get rolled in the tournament because everyone would be going triple support and that Black Widow would be getting dived and killed. Dived means just like they all jump on you and they just kill you, right? And 200 ping. Yes, these girls kept roasting Kingsman because he was very insistent on a team comp not involving Black Widow. He even offered to play Mantis support for the Widow, but they declined it. Cece, the team captain, and this is the girl we're gonna see a lot more of her in just a few minutes, complained to the host of the tournament. Also, the Widow's boyfriend made a Google Doc on Kingsman being toxic and posted it to Twitter, which ultimately led to him being kicked out of the tournament. So basically, you had this toxic girl and her simp boyfriend that decided to destroy this guy's reputation because he called this guy's girlfriend out for being dog shit at the game and being a selfish bitch. This is $20,000, sorry, $40,000 for a tournament. This is a lot of money. So the tournament was yesterday and they got rolled. What Kingsman predicted happened. Every team played triple support and the Widow had 0 impact. They ended up being last place in the tournament with a score of 1 win and 8 losses. Kingsman made a YouTube video for more details. CC made a YouTube video in response to Kingsman. Oh, here we go again. This is a 1-hour video. I'm not going to watch that. Widow's boyfriend made an apology to Kingsman, and then CC also made an apology for it as well. The truth behind the $40,000 tournament. So,
I'm making this video in response to Kingsman's video and also to all the chatters that are going to come in and ask questions again. I'm just going to direct you to this.
Yeah.
And it's the last I'm going to speak about.
We're not going to watch this the whole time. I don't want to listen to this bitch for 15 minutes. Don't worry about it.
I'm addressing on the allegations or anything that's not true, as well as I included a clip that Kingsman left out in his conversation with Entei, because Kingsman thought it was like rage bait or something, but Ante took the words right out of my mouth. Like, I could not have phrased it better. And if you take it from a third-party perspective, you might be able to digest it a little better.
Okay, let's hear
I
it.
want to start off by saying that I did not get kicked from the tournament. I was banned on Twitch for violating TOS, saying something toxic to my friend in chat. I've said it before, but this time it was around a bunch of haters, so maybe it got spam reported, but it was just for 24 hours. The issue is I can't play in the tournament while banned because if I get streamed...
What? I don't give a fuck.
But
Can
it
I
has nothing to
please-
do with Bassam or the tournament. The problem wasn't what he said. He didn't get kicked because he wanted his teammate to swap off Widow. It was because of the way he went about it. The Tony...
What a nasty fucking bitch. Meanwhile, this is the kind of stuff she's saying about him. Let me see if I can find it. Glazing Klingsman for what now? Y'all gonna lose? Kicked out the best player. He did it to himself. Nice job spreading negativity. Got your best player kicked from the team. Goodbye 40K. Hello, good vibes. And then she said 3K, and we've got better players and vibes now. I'm pretty sure he spent 20 years of his life inside playing video games, which is why he lacks social skills. Social skills are whenever you disagree with her. That's right. That yo Kingsman cocksuckers screenshot this. Y'all think Jesus Christ. Stop trying to talk like it's so fucking cringe. Oh my god. Just stop it. You guys think I don't see a toxicity in the Kingsman Discord? W not spreading hate from the mods or the Kingsman community. Oh, here's another one. Let's see if there are any more of these. No, this is just more bullshit. And in the community note, she's continued to bully Kingsman and speak ill of him across social media. CC has a history of attacking other players and talking trash. And so we even have more of this here. Let's take a look at this. So yeah, and what's this here? Such a sad attempt at damage control. And so she went out and she made an apology for this after getting this guy kicked off the team. So this is, I'm sorry I failed to realize, take proper accountability here as well. Many of you saw the replies. They were defensive, deflecting, and argumentative. Yeah, they sure were. Now, she put it on, basically nobody else can respond to this, but that doesn't stop the quote retweets. It doesn't. So here we go. And so this is her again.
Everyone thinks this guy's a
loser.
She called him a loser.
That's such a good point. You're so right about that. And we're still gonna play Widow. I need this for my college. I need this for my college. I have about 6 or 7 more years.
Isn't it crazy that you have these girls that are successful streamers that are probably getting money and donations and stuff that are laughing at, joking about, and, basically making fun of this guy for needing money for college. Meanwhile, they're sitting there playing Marvel Rivals for a job. Isn't that insane? Oh my god. And so anyway, and then they're also bragging about basically sandbagging this tournament and causing this guy to not even have a chance to win money to pay for college. Look at how totally indulgent and nasty this is.
Hey, Widow. I need this for my college.
She's making fun of him for needing money for college. That's really sad. Wow.
I need this for my college. I have about 6 or 7 more years.
Man. So that's what they do. And so anyway, this is it. Now, I don't know who this person is. Most people don't. I don't really care. But I do have a feeling that, she's probably in a better spot financially than he is. And so she's laughing and joking about this while she's sandbagging his chance to be able to pay for college. Such a sad attempt at damage control. I doubt this is how you really feel. Y'all just horrible people. Absolutely. Yeah, and does you think we didn't see a shitty-ass apology? And this isn't a Discord chat. And yes, I told my friend in Twitch chat to kill KYS. Oh, to kill yourself. I've been banned and freed. Your favorite streamer probably says worse behind closed doors. Yeah, probably true. I misspoke in the Greenlight clip in the same stream. The clip was cut. I clarified Bassam did not ask for approval. He was going to kick him regardless. Wow, so this guy was a simp for free. Good for him. And let's see here. Community note for this. Bassam, you're a fucking moron for letting a little girl ruin your reputation like this. So this is the guy here who's running the tournament. And he said, congratulations to the winners, obviously. And you've got a bunch of people, hope they never sponsor you again. I mean, the fact that he sided with people that were laughing and joking and goofing around and making light of this guy trying to pay for his college is totally fucking toxic and pathetic. You removed Kingsman for the slightest chance that women might look in your direction. Pathetic. And yeah, W host, address me. Yep, there we go. Why did you remove Kingsman when he was right and the team told him to shut the fuck up? Exactly. She has proof about sandbagging? Yes, she does. And so this is what these people do. They're so hostile, so toxic, so rude. They're just nasty as fuck, aren't they? They really are. After reviewing all the evidence and VODs for all parties, that was a horrible decision on your part and it shows clear bias. You swore on professionalism, but didn't penalize the team's captain whenever they were being unprofessional themselves. And congratulations for being the worst Marvel Rivals host to ever do it. Honestly, Kingsman was right. Super fucked up situation that he got removed. Justice for Kingsman. By the way, this is a gaming community W. I think that so many people are so sick of these nasty, toxic people in gaming that are sandbagging this guy and then making fun of him for not being able to pay for college. To provide clarity on the discourse surrounding my team for this tournament, I was not the team captain. I was invited as a player to be drafted. I had no choice in what to say, who was kicked. Woke up in a massive amount of unwarranted, sexist, hateful comments. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Yeah, you are who you surround yourself with. Yes, definitely. I'm the victim. Of course, as always. What does sandbagging mean? It means intentionally putting in zero effort to a tournament or to an event in order to not try to win the tournament. Basically not giving a shit about the outcome and then doing so in a way that's negatively affecting other people. So yeah, it's that simple. Throwing a game. Yeah, basically running it down mid, throwing the game, whatever you want to say. But let's see if there's any more of these to look at, too, because weird how women manage to ruin everything competitive in a team game. I think this does have to do with the fact that they're women, and I'll explain why. It's because they're being hostile and aggressive, and the moment that somebody responds that way, they claim that it's misogyny. You're using your identity as both a sword and a shield. You're attacking people and you're being passive aggressive and hostile and nasty, while at the same time, when people push back against you, now people are being misogynistic. No, this isn't misogyny. This is accountability. And maybe this is the first time in your life you've ever had it, but with a person like this, I think it probably won't be the last. It's so fucking obnoxious. I hate these people. They have to swallow their own poison when a transform ones. I don't know about trans. There's nothing to do with trans. But like, anyway, so this is more of this, right? And so I'll go ahead. And then this is her blaming him. Here we go.
What happened with Kingsman getting kicked? What happened with Kingsman getting kicked?
You were a nasty, toxic bitch, and you got him kicked out because he called you out. Because you wanted to do whatever you wanted to do. The mind of a child.
So like Boston pulled me aside and was just like, a lot of people were coming to him, like chatters and stuff. We're showing him clips of him like saying disrespectful things about the tournament, like us as a team, and like saying we were gonna lose and all that stuff.
That's disrespectful? Well, he was right.
And like, Boston was just not having it, and so he asked me, and I was just like, it's kind of just like, if you think so.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he was like muting in like while we were in Discord and saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna lose, and these guys, my team sucks, and then he was talking about like,
well, he's right.
How some other tournament he's in was like way better.
And you saw how she was totally aggressive and really hostile. She was talking shit to him. She was degrading him, calling him a loser. The other girl was making fun of him for needing money for college. But now whenever they face accountability, now they're the victim. Nope. Oh, no. Oh, no, you're not.
And I think Boston was just not taking that disrespect, and low-key, like, I didn't want that disrespect either. Like, I didn't want someone on the team that...
The disrespect, which is somebody asking you to play the game and try to win.
I was just constantly going to, like, shit-talk us, too.
So, like, a sandbag sitting there doing nothing? Yeah, imagine, like, you go into a match and you die 5 times and you get 0 kills. That's a sandbag.
Chat. So, I was just like, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But...
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's mad disrespectful. Meanwhile, they're making fun of him for having to pay for college. That's so disgraceful. It really is. How disgusting. It would suck to have someone talk shit behind your back on your team. Yep. There it is. 20 years of his life inside. The innocent victim complex is crazy. This is why I love calling people like this out. I do. I love calling people out like this, and I think they deserve it. People like this deserve way more criticism than they're getting. And I understand this girl's getting a lot of criticism right now. It should be even more. It should be. Because what this person did is totally selfish. It's abusive. It's obnoxious. It's mean. And there's no reason for it. Why should you behave this way? There's no reason you should. It's toxic? Yeah, these people are just so fucking toxic. You should see her replies to comments on a YouTube video. It's crazy. She would straight up lie in the comments and people are posting timestamps. Wait, what? Women almost dies after learning what accountability is. You know it's bad when the comments have a better like ratio than your video. What is this? Notice how the video called The Truth Behind the 40K Tournament has no facts or truth that would help you. It's just you saying, yeah, I mean, we did that, but he didn't want us to throw, so he's the bad guy. Yep, there we go. Saying you're going to lose because your team refuses to swap off Widow is a very valid thing to say in a 40K tournament. It absolutely is. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I would say that if it was for free. I don't want to sit there and lose a fucking game. Why would I want to lose a game? Holy shit, 0 and 5 and 0. There you go. Oh my god, saying you're going to lose isn't disrespectful. He made an assessment, shared his opinion in the teams and the hopes, and he gets booted for it. He does. The team loses. Oh my god. $40,000 were on the line, and one of my teammates is playing the worst character with high ping. Yeah, I would have been worse than him. Absolutely. If I had a teammate one-tricking with 150 ping, 0 kills, 0 assists, and most importantly, 0 impact on the win condition, I would be saying in /all GG and asking for that person to swap. And these streamers are just so incredibly stupid. I don't think that they're stupid. I think they're insulated from consequences. They're professional victims, and they think they can do anything they want and get away with it. And that includes demonizing, bullying, and basically hurting other people whenever anybody else dares to say no. That's it. It's malicious. Yeah, they're absolutely malicious. Should saw her TikTok comments before she disabled them, doubling down, and then his video blew up 5x more out of suddenly and its apologies and panic attacks. Oh, she's having a panic attack? Oh my fucking god. Is this more I'm a victim, please feel sorry for me? Get the fuck out of here. Let me see if I can read any more of this. Is there anything else that's worth saying? Yeah, oh, here we go. And so this is the comment from today. And I'm not going to read all this bullshit. We'll read the second part of it, though. I'm sorry I was going off on the video and forgot to explicitly call this out. Earlier today, I woke up to 1,000 notifications from the day before, and people had joined my server from Kingsman's. I was having a panic attack. I just started experiencing them. Really? You had a panic attack? I wonder if he ever has a panic attack trying to afford college. Don't ever listen to these people try to beg, like, oh, feel sorry for me. I don't give a fuck. Who cares about your panic attack, bitch? You went out there and you put somebody else in a bad position, and now you want people to feel sorry for you because you're pretending, or maybe you do actually have a panic attack. Who cares you have a panic attack? People have panic attacks all the time. So does that mean that now suddenly you're absolved of accountability? How pathetic. That doesn't work. Maybe that works with other losers like you, but it certainly doesn't work with me. And I was angry and ended up lashing out at him instead of his community. Oh, it's his community that's the problem. No, the problem is you. I deeply regret it, and I apologize for flinging another insult out. This shows terrible character, and I'll be working on watching the words I say and getting help with my panic attacks. You should get help instead of from your panic attacks. You should get help with your personality. You're nasty, rude, and in my opinion, I even think that her friend, whatever this, I don't even know who this is, right? This girl right here. This one's even worse. Like, this girl is, like, obnoxious and annoying, but this one is, like, 1,000 times worse. Like, there's nothing that's more embarrassing and pathetic than to make fun of a guy trying to pay for college. As a fucking e-girl, too. You're sitting there being an e-girl, and you're making fun of a man trying to go to college? This is pathetic.
I'm gonna play Widow. I need this for
So
my
nasty.
college. I need this for my college. I have about 6 or 7 more years.
Mentally 5. I guess actually that might be an overstatement. The fake true voices. Yeah, it's so pathetic, man. And look at the shitty e-girl makeup. Yeah, it's so fucking obnoxious. So they totally made fun of this guy. They got him kicked out of the tournament. And I am glad to see a lot more people talking about this and calling this out. I hate people that are like this. I think they're awful. They're so toxic to the gaming community. And there's a lot of these people. This is one thing that people do, is that there are girls that go into online gaming spaces and they intentionally don't do what other people say. They fucking throw on the teams. They're obnoxious. They're hostile. They cry about everything. And then as soon as anybody pushes back against them, they're the victim. No, you're not. Everybody else is the victim for having to deal with you. That's probably the reason why you're on the internet in the first place. I'll see if there's any more of these that are worth looking at. But I did see this. It very, very, very much annoyed me. I didn't like it at all. And a basic research on humiliation. It's power play. Ask for consent of the sub. Well, I don't know about that. This isn't about fucking... I don't think it's any fucking power play, really, other than that. And, yeah, but my panic attacks trigger whenever somebody says something I don't agree with. Yeah, whenever somebody says I might lose a game, that's it. And, community notes for this, you're a fucking moron. Yeah, what a fucking idiot. Guys, there's 40K on the line, and I could really use this money for college. Can we lock in? I guess not, right? And at least have some self-respect and leave the team, right? Have somebody else come in and do that. Throw him 3K for college would be a huge W. I don't even know what happened, if he had money or anything like that. I don't know if they won, or actually, no, I know they didn't win. What's this here? On top of the fact that this reeks of I'm not actually at fault and I don't need to give an apology, this is just a scapegoat to say that I apologized. You don't get to say all these statements after you post and then drop that excuse for accountability. Absolutely. This isn't Discord. We saw your apology. Impossible to take your apology serious when your response is still on YouTube. Are you sure those are your real feelings?
bounty hunt them. I don't know how you do that, but you always surprise me.
what is my How far do you have to walk down that road before you see where it leads? So you have to ask yourself the question, what matters?
Somebody make us shut up about it. Can we settle down, please? 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 Can we settle down?
Ya la cagué. ¡Uy, puta! Erika. Tengo un chingo de esta. La verga, güey, pues qué es donde. No tanto. ¿Qué pedo, güey, con esas putas explosiones?
need help.